Take a deep breath. Deep conversations are starting.
Hello, everyone, from Deep Conversations by Breath Hub. I'm with a friend. She's a very good friend of mine from New York, Paulina. And I haven't seen her for a long time now, a few years, because of the whole pandemic and everything. And I'm looking forward to hearing all the details. The last time I saw her, by the way, she was in the center of a huge transformation around her life. It was the time when she started breathwork and she became a breathwork expert, like breath coach, and she was getting the trainings from our school. And I remember you were, in such a huge transformation, like grounding your whole energy and everything. And yeah, I'm very excited to learn more, like what's been happening, what's been going on, like you I wouldn't say you're very different, but you look like you have more clarity and you have this huge light and energy in your being. Like
Yeah.
what has changed and how has been going on this whole transformational process
It's been
with
like
breathwork?
it's been like 2 or 3 years, but I
Yeah.
feel like really long time because I think not only the time when we had the breathing training, but also the time that came after, like for the whole world, it kind of like gave in addition to what I was going through, like I was working with myself. So also like when the world kind of stopped, I had more time
Yeah.
even to go more
Deeper.
inwards, deeper, and
I
see
think
clear.
we people who have a tool like breathwork started using that tool deep on a deeper and deeper level throughout the whole process. I mean, I am a little sad about people who didn't have that tool because I saw people literally getting crazy, like all these mental disorders. If they had
Yeah,
breathwork, like
yeah.
they would be able to go through that like we did.
Honestly, from the time when because I can't say I didn't breathe before I started the training with you because I was like also aware that breathing is really very important practice for every day. But I think the training gave me more awareness how important it is and what it can give me. Also like as a tool for everyday life, whatever is happening. So from that time, actually, I can say that I am breathing consciously every day.
Yeah.
And I have my own practice, which is every morning, depending how is my morning routine, because sometimes you have more time, sometimes you have less. But no matter how much time I have in the morning, at least few minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, I
Yeah.
am doing the breathing, the deep breathing in the morning, and it kind of like gives me space and awareness for the whole day, and also like connection with myself. And I feel that it's very important. And also when what we mentioned, when the world kind of stopped, I I use breathing a lot as well.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what I would be doing if I didn't practice breath work and meditation together in the mornings. It's kind of like
Yes,
I can't even imagine living life without tuning in with yourself in the mornings. Like
absolutely.
I can't really, like, this is very sincere because it's been such a long time now. I can't connect with the reality of just waking up, getting out of bed and starting
No,
life. It's like
no.
you get lost. It's like you basically get lost. And if there's anybody, listening to us right now or watching us right now, if you feel lost, I'm telling you the reason you get lost because you don't take the
Yes.
time and you don't take the time to breathe and connect within, because breathing is the fastest tool we can connect to ourselves within and check in. It's like that's the reason why we feel lost. That's the reason why most people are unfulfilled, unhappy,
Yeah,
disconnected, and
absolutely.
meaningless. Like that's why many people's lives seem or feel meaningless because the meaning is in our center. It's like in our centeredness is the mean. So it's like I can't imagine a life without doing breath work when I wake up,
And
breath work and
I
meditation.
remember myself years ago when I was just getting up, and doing like all the morning routine, like shower, getting dressed for the day, without that part like meditation and breathing. But now it's like something like me saying hello to myself, like, I usually do it like with putting my hands on the
Yeah.
belly, like below the belly button and on the heart space. So I want also to feel my body, to just connect with my body. And
Yeah.
then it gives me like a sense of feeling even more my being,
Yeah.
the connection. And it's kind of, I don't need even words, but I feel like I am saying hello to myself, and I am
Yeah.
saying,
And the real
okay,
self. It's not even
yes,
Paulina.
yes,
It's
yes.
like,
I have goosebumps now. So it's
yeah.
this real self, yes.
Yeah.
So then I feel it, and you know, and then I don't need any affirmations, anything, because I know that after this moment I am ready for the day, and whatever the day brings, I have my patience, I have my acceptance, I have my letting go, because this is what, for example, for me also breathing. Um, in my case, I would say, because I used to be like a liking control in the
Yeah.
past, and breathing helps you letting go of that,
Yeah.
for
Let
me.
go of
Yes, so
control. Yeah.
let go of control, and just be with the life, with the day, with the minute, with you as it is, because it is as it is,
Yeah.
because we can't change. We can just breathe in the moment, the present moment, what
Yeah.
is,
That's
and
beautiful.
enjoy. And when we do that, like when I am doing it every moment, every time, whatever is happening, I am happy. That's why, for example, when that moment in the world happened, when everything kind of stopped, of course, first days, weeks was like, what's going on? What's happening? But then I was somehow happy, because I was like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
Because you can connect with
I
the
have time
mean,
for
with the meaning.
myself. I can just settle
Yeah.
down. I can sit. I can feel my heart space. I can do more yoga practice, more
Yeah.
body practice, whatever, was coming to me. And it was so amazing, like going deeper. Of course, amazing meaning also hard time just going, because, it's always like when you're going too light, you go through shadow, through your own
Yeah.
shadow. And it's important also to go through that shadow, because
Yeah. It's
otherwise
beautiful.
you
It's
can't you
beautiful.
can't see the light in you when
Yeah.
you don't face that part
Yeah,
as
I
well.
think when you said that, I also realized that because breath itself is such a wise thing, it's not even a thing, but like pure life, and it has wisdom, and it has light, and it has like it's uncontrollable, it's there the whole time, and it's the breath, it's the life, it's the life force energy. It is also the meaning. So it's kind of like, because it has meaning inside of it, because it's full meaning, whenever we connect with our breathing, and like even with breath awareness exercises, like there is a lot of breathing awareness exercises in Breath Hub app, like inside those thousands of sessions, even without doing like conscious connected breath work and doing breath work as a work, like even if you do some breathing awareness exercises, just even becoming aware of the breath, it kind of like it shifts our reality, because we connect with pure meaning. It's like breath equals to pure meaning, and we start realizing the pure meaning, seeing the pure meaning behind it all. And that's why you started feeling happy, and that's why you started feeling gratitude. That's why I'm saying, like, I couldn't imagine a world without me waking up and doing some breathing. I don't know how I would be coping up with this whole pandemic, because we were in London, with the whole family inside the home, especially when you have a, 10, 11-year old that can't go to school. She wants to see her friends. And it's like the first time it all happened, we were kind of like, it was the first time she didn't see any children for longer than 2, 3 months. And when I go back to my childhood and think about it, like when I was 10, not seeing my friends, not seeing children for even a week is weird.
Not possible.
It's like, and they went through this whole
Yes.
thing with their parents and at home,
Yeah.
and without seeing a child. It's like, I can't imagine how hard it was for them. So yeah, so basically, if I wasn't breathing and connecting with the mean, I wouldn't have the capability to feel gratitude. And there are all these exercises on gratitude. It's like breathing has it all. It's like, unless you are aware of the breathing, aware of life itself, it's not easy to be grateful. Like for me to be grateful, I have a need to connect with the meaning of things. When you see the whole meaning, like why all this stuff is happening and the benefits of it, and of course the equal benefits and drawbacks, but the whole meaning behind it, it is beyond words. Then you're like, thank you for
Yes.
every moment of your life, and that's like, yeah,
And
you
even
know,
now,
if you breathe every day, you'll be grateful for every day.
yes, and even like questioning, like why I am here, why in this moment. So when you have this connection, and no matter what's happening in the outside world, you find gratefulness. You are just grateful
Yeah,
because you know, I know that I am here for a purpose. I have chosen it to be here, to be this contribution, even just by being me. It doesn't mean that I have to do something. It's not about doing this much. As I understand more and more, is just by being who I am. If I am
yeah,
really connected with my true self, of course, because it's also tricky because we have ego, we have this outside world, we have to play sometimes games, but whenever I am like truly, truly with me, I know that I can just sit and be
yeah.
even like in silence, not saying anything. And I know that my connection with the divine, or the whatever we say, the God, the source, I know that it brings something to this world as well. So it's
Yeah,
so
you are
amazing.
connected with the meaning.
Yes, and
Yeah, I want to
that's
ask you a
yeah.
question, and I'm also wondering, like, what was the strongest moments of transformation for you? Like, what was the main emotion? What was the main trauma? What was the main thing that transformed for you? Like for me, it was fear. Like in my first breathwork sessions, I went deep into fear, like flipping fear, like my whole body shaking, and I didn't even know I had that much of a fear. Like, and the fear was, I mean, people would ask like, what kind of a fear? The fear was about being myself. It's really interesting because we're so conditioned
Oh
on
yes.
on who to be and what to do, and you should do that, you should do that, like for
Fulfilling
to be
expectations.
a good individual, a nice, girl, we are taught like be like this. And I realized this huge fear of, and right now I know I could only and only connect with that fear with breath work. Only, like no meditation, no mind work, no body work, nothing would connect me on that deep level. It was impossible. And I remember a time when I connect with that fear and I was shaking, my whole body was shaking, and I moved in it and then through it. And from that day on, something transformed, that I just started being myself. And I was like, hell yes, this is me, and I'm just this, and just something huge transformed. So what was it like, the toughest, the most joyous, the toughest, but it's like,
I am smiling because actually, I don't know if you remember, that was the session with you. That was my second breathing session. The first one was in the workshop, and it was really like amazing, nice connection, divine experience. Like I really like it because I kind of like touched my being, but it wasn't like any like a deep transformational thing. Just I felt the beautiful energy. But then I had this session one on one with you, and I remember that at some point my body was like all frozen. I couldn't feel my face any here. I felt like I am dying. I felt like I am not feeling myself anymore. And I even remember that at some point I asked you, are you here? Am I dying or something? Because that was the feeling, of course. Nothing was happening. That was my energetic feeling,
yeah.
and then just energetic, like maybe physical feeling in my body. So I can say
And
that,
also the reality of death, because we
yes,
do touch
yes,
with breath, because breath is life. We do go beyond death with our breath. So
exactly.
it's kind of like we
So
tap into the dying body
exactly, that
before it
was,
dies.
yes, that was this moment. And when you said fear, I would say it was also fear because I am aware of that there is more, and there is not only this what we see here, but that moment during the session kind of made me realize it really, really on
You
deeper.
experienced
Yes,
it.
because I had to kind of like go to the other side to see this side and realize that actually there is no other side.
Yeah, for,
You know
for
what?
people who don't get this, like a little interpretation,
Thank you.
when you practice breath work, you can go really, really deep and tap into the death moment of yourself. So it's kind of like, because breath is life, and it's not, and breath is not coming from a time and space reality. It's like it's unlimited and it's timeless. It's just everywhere and it's everything. It's pure spirit. It's pure life force energy. So when we start working with our breath, especially when you practice breath work every day, you're going to eventually get there. We at one point tap into the death of the body, because the body is already dead. You know, if there was no life, if there was no breath, like you're all using a dead body right now. I know this might sound strange, but that's the truth. I am right now experiencing a dead body. The body is dead in itself. It's like there is no living like a living organism in itself in the body. If I'm not breathing, you know, we take
Exactly.
our first breath, and then this whole thing starts. It's kind of like the electricity of this light. It's the electricity of your
Yes.
TV. When there is no electricity, the TV doesn't have electricity. So it's like when there is no breath, there is no
Yes.
life in this body. This body can't function without the breath. So the breath comes and gives a dead body life, and the breath goes, and the body is left dead in itself. So as you go deeper with your breath, because you got deeper into your breath, you start realizing the death of the body. The body is dead, you know. I think you tapped into that. It's
And
like,
that was the fear also. Oh my gosh, what's happening? Am I dying? Like the moment.
yeah, and we think the body can live by its own. No, it just
Yes.
lives with breath. So,
Yes.
yeah.
So it was that moment really, because my kind of topic for this life is also about fear, and as I mentioned, control. It's
Yeah,
connected,
yeah.
of course, and that was the moment of that the big awakening for me, realization. And from that moment, it's not like I'm completely like fearless in every moment, because you know there are many patterns, there are many situations, like kind of like tests coming back, and okay, let's test her. Is she already fearless, or maybe she still has something in
Yeah.
her? So then I am like facing, okay, there is a little bit of fear in me here or there, but that was the big thing, that I am like, okay, it's life, it's okay, it's
Yeah.
let's take it in and let's just live the
Yeah,
life.
I usually tell in my trainings, in my workshops, trainings, that if you can, with gratitude and elegantly, leave the dead body aside before it dies, you have no problems left at all. It's like, because our only problem is just being attached, so much attached to the body. And it's like we forget
Yes.
it's dead anyway. I mean, attached to something living, to your breath. That's why breath
Yes.
work is so powerful. And we need to understand, like, we're underestimating the power of our breath. We take our first breath, and this body becomes alive. And like in the mother's womb, the body is alive because the body is breathing through the mother. The
Yes.
mother is breathing for both the baby and herself.
Absolutely.
And then as the breath goes, we die. It's like life experience itself is the breaths you take in between. So your life depends on how good you're breathing. Like the quality of your life depends on the quality of your breathing. Like, let's get this. And as a breathwork expert, as someone who's been working with breathwork and tens of thousands of people, all I can say with my experience is that just leave everything you're doing right now and take time to breathe, because that's the most
Yes.
important thing in your life.
Yes.
That's going to change your whole life, your whole consciousness. And then you can go further, and with that changed breathing, you can easily meditate, you can easily dance, and you can easily fly. You can easily, I mean, yeah, like run for kilometers, and
Yeah,
you
that's
can easily
another,
do
yes,
anything. You can
yes.
easily, do arts or whatever you want. It's like once you have life in your system running in your veins, you can do anything and you can be anything. But first change that. It's like, let's get that.
Yes,
And
I
what
have.
what how did it, because I usually also talk about, that breathing is very much different than meditation or energy work or all that, because breathing changes our chemistry and physiology. And of course it first changes our physical body, physical system. Like I'm very sincere about it. I tell people I have never been this strong. Like there's such a strength in my system, although I'm not doing health of the sports I've been doing 20 years ago. I haven't been this much healthy and strong ever in my life, and I'm almost 50. So I'm going to ask you a question like, what did regular breath work change, especially physically and mentally and emotionally? Because as the breath changes, your chemistry changes, physiology changes, you have more oxygen in the blood,
Yes.
you can run further and do physical exercises.
I can actually, I have few examples, and I am also in my 50s, but I never felt like younger, stronger, like more energetic, and with my like really inner power. One of the examples is actually that year when we had the breathing training. After we finish, it was like a month later or 2 months later, I had my first marathon uh, here in New York, and I just ran.
I just
I
ran.
felt
That
like
was
I had
amazing.
my wings with me, and I didn't train almost at all because I didn't have time, because we had trainings, I had
But you
work,
did
so
train with breath.
yes, of course, yes. That the
Yeah,
only
it's
thing
like
I did.
people think we need physical
No,
training to run a marathon, but it's
yes,
you need your
I
breathing.
honestly I did like training. It was one half marathon I did as a training, and maybe 2 times 5 miles. That was all before marathon what I trained,
Wow.
and then of course many breathing sessions. And I was like, I was so, I was amazed. My body was like amazing. I was crying. I was meditating during this running. It was so amazing experience to
You
me.
had it all, girl. You had the energy.
And then the next day, because all people they were telling Leah, yeah, take the day off because prepare that you won't be able to walk the steps up or down, whatever. Your body will be really in bad condition. My body was like, okay, get up. What are you gonna do today? So that was my body. It was really, and I know that it was the breathing. That's
Yeah,
really
oxygen.
oxygen, and my body was really well prepared, even not through physical exercising. It was really well prepared, and so that's one example. And then, of course, I have my everyday routine for. Yeah, I do a little bit. I do the Tibetan rituals every day, and a little bit of stretching or yoga, not much. And I have like a lot of power. I feel my body is really like built really well. So, and I can say it's not only about going and doing physical exercises. It's like whole spectrum of things. And about meditation, I also would say that it's in my case, but I can say that maybe it's just in general. Um, Once I learned the breathing, I am easier breathing during the meditation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think, I mean, I think 99% of the people who are trying to meditate right now are not going into a deeper state and can't meditate because they
Yes.
have dysfunctional breathing issues. It's like, I mean, there are, of course, a lot of researches on it. You can research around hypocapnia, hypercapnia, like what happens when we breathe dysfunctional. I mean, to keep it short, our whole chemistry changes. We go into respiratory alkalosis or acidosis, and because our chemistry changes, the brain starts working in a different way. And it's like while you're breathing dysfunctional, while you still have a dysfunctional breathing habit, when you don't have a full, calm, relaxed breathing habit, you just can't meditate. It's like, and the breathing practices before the meditation, like for a couple of minutes, it's not enough. It's like I need to be breathing first every day for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, so that I can meditate easier. I need to practice breathing every day for 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes so that I can run and I can use my physical body better. It's like, it pays, or I can sleep better.
Yeah, sleep. I never had any issues like with my health, with my body. I feel healthy all over, but I feel like even more healthier. That of course it's it's. I love my body and I take care of my body as well. Like asking what is good food to eat and so on. But still, I feel like the breathing part is also like included in
Yeah,
that
and I think people
taking
are
care.
missing. I think people are also missing that, and we have other episodes on where I talk about the scientific side of breathing and also how breathing affects respiration. But I'm going to say it again out loud. I think people don't realize that or don't know about it, that breath, each breath affects our respiratory chemistry. And because of that, it affects our body fluid pH. So it's like, I can't believe people are so nutrition conscious, but not breath conscious. It doesn't matter if you're eating the most healthy diet at all. It doesn't matter if you have a dysfunctional breathing habit. You'll still have chemical issues in the system. You'll have still toxins. And I think it's kind of like we are there that to teach that to people, and it's time for the next generation to get that. It's like if we want to tap into the next level of humans, where we are physically healthy and mentally and emotionally healthy and centered, and where we experience the highest potential of ourselves, breathwork needs to be the
Breathwork.
first tool.
Yes, and I can mention I work with children, and they are ages like from 3 and up, and I can see because they're going through their issues. Like someone took like a toy, and someone is crying, but still they're like
Someone took
adult
their
issues.
toy. I love it.
They like adult
That's the main
issues.
reason children
Yes,
cry.
yes. And then sometimes the drama is really deep, like emotional, because it triggers something inside. And whenever I talk with them and work with breathing, like the one thing is they know about that. They know that okay, whenever I say okay, just calm down and just focus on your breathing, and they know what to do. Sometimes they are
And they
one
stop crying.
yeah, they stop crying, and then the release or the getting quiet is like really much faster than other techniques, I would say. And one boy one time he said to me like, I am breathing, because I was like, yeah, breathe slowly and so. But they already have it. So with children, for example, because they remember it from the day one when they had this first breath, and they have really pretty good breathing because you can see it. So I feel like giving this awareness to children, I don't know, maybe teaching
in
them at
schools
school
and
somewhere,
everywhere.
whenever they have the physical activities, starting or finishing with some breathing exercise, it will give
Yeah,
really
using Breath
powerful
Up
tool.
Kids. We have a
Yes,
kids
yes,
part as well, and
yes,
on Breath
yes.
Up Kids we have amazing sessions with, different stories and very fun sessions like rabbit breathing and bear breathing and the birds breathing, and then so we have sessions and for children. If you are wondering, like with children, how do we do breath work or practice breath work with children, because they have a better breathing habit than us. For anybody listening to us or watching us, because they have a better breathing habit than us, they don't need a more kind of like a transformational breathing, or they don't need a deep connected breathing. They just need breath awareness, so that
Yes.
so that they can feel when their breath changes, because when our breath changes, so does our psychology. The way we breathe affects our psychology moment by moment. So if when the breath changes, your psychology changes. That's why you have anxiety. That's why you have panic. It's like learning breath awareness, using those techniques every day for a couple of moments to just build that breath awareness is huge for children.
Absolutely, it is.
And also for the young generation in universities and
Yeah,
high
and for the
school.
future.
And yeah.
Because as you said, I think it's like we can't go more in this life to the future without breathing consciously,
Yeah, I mean,
without
if we
that
don't learn
awareness.
conscious breathing,
Yes.
and if we don't work on our breathing, Like our
Yes.
psychologies are gonna get worse and the mental state is gonna get worse. It's like because our chemistry is changing.
And what else? This is one of the easiest tools and in a way
Fastest, easiest,
fastest,
yeah,
right?
crazy.
Because you don't need like a year of counseling. You can add, of course, like coaching with a psychologist or somewhere, of course. But this one is like your own tool, and you just sit with yourself and do it.
Yeah, what I'm gonna ask you is, and I'm gonna think about this myself as well. What would be the one thing you would like humanity to know before you die?
Oh my gosh,
Strong question.
I love this question. I
What would you say to our listeners and people who are watching? What would
oh
be
my
the
gosh,
one thing you
listeners.
would like humanity to know?
There is much more. There is much more, and the answer is here inside, and we are here to find it out.
I love it. There's much more.
This is like there is so much more, and the journey going there, it's like amazing.
Roller coaster.
Sometimes roller coaster, but you know, the more you know, the more you get into that, you want to go deeper.
Yeah, and I'm sure
And-
people who are listening to us are also listening to, different episodes. Maybe they're reading or getting information on different techniques like, meditation, yoga, and energy work, mind work. Like, I get you, and I'm a meditation teacher. I've been practicing for meditation for a long time. I'm a yoga teacher. I did energy work, so I tried everything. And what I'm going to say is, until you try breath work, you have no idea about what's lying beyond. That's what I'm going to say. It's like,
Yes.
until just have all those methods. It's like they are just complementary. Like, until you go and journey with your breath,
Yes.
don't expect yourself connecting with life on a deeper level. Like, you'll always have questions and you will always have issues to work on and this and that.
Yes.
But until you, really connect with your breath, you're not going to get there.
And if you want to stay in the present moment, just breathe.
Yeah, it's all about breathing. So
all,
it's not kind of like,
yes.
and that's what I want to tell to people. Like, it's not kind of like some other tool than meditation and yoga and, energy work. It is the tool that is on top of all. Like,
Absolutely.
with breath work, every other experience will change. Like yoga, you'll have more benefits from yoga. Meditation, you'll go easier and deeper into meditation. Energy practices, you'll ground all that light energy. Like, whatever you're doing, holistic nutrition, eating nutritional foods. With breath work, you will get much more healthy. Fitness, you will become much more powerful. Like, breath work, breath itself is on top of all of those tools, like our ally, our friend. Like,
And you can take this tool wherever you go, everywhere
Yeah,
you go.
yeah.
It's just with you.
yeah, it's just easy. Thank you, Paulina.
Thank
I think it
you.
was very
Oh my
nice,
gosh,
and
thank you so much
I
for
think
having
we
me
have,
here.
kind of like touched people and also shake them up and breath up, breath up.
Yes, breathe.
So download breath up right now.
Yes, and breathe. Keep on breathing.
Do breath work every day. Yeah, this is going to change your life.
Yes.
Thank you for
Thank
watching
you.
and listening.
Thank you.
I
Thank
love
you, so
you
much.
all. I love
Thank
my
you.
guests.
I love you all too.
I'm in full gratitude. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Paulina.
so
It
much
was
for
very
inviting
nice seeing
me.
you. And I will see you in the next episode.